comfy. What's good, viewers? Welcome to the inaugural episode of Shadow Gym. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, all this stuff. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Shadow Gym, inner workouts for your inner being. I am your host or trainer, I guess you could say, Torin Gooley, aka Guru. And let's jump right into, well, actually, no, I'm skipping the part, and hit my notes. This is why I have notes. I'm not even consulting them. So, before we get into the video, how are you? I'm actually asking you, yes, you viewer, how are you doing? I'm actually interested to know. Yeah, this is I want to make this as interactive as possible, as you could possibly do on YouTube anyway. So yeah, just anything you feel like sharing or want to like let off your mind, let off your chest, anything you feel comfortable sharing, just drop it in the comments. I actually respond and read everything, especially for now with the channel just now getting started. So I do appreciate you taking the time out to check out Shadow Gym. All right, let's get these spiritual reps in. So, Shadow Gym, what is this channel about? This channel is about shadow work. It's not something that I've recently, well, I guess you could say kind of recently discovered. I've known about it for a while and I've been like mildly practicing it, but within the past year, about 9-10 months or so, I've really, I just like made it a way of my life, and I've discovered so many things about myself, and my life has transformed so much so quickly, and I pretty much, like, if you would say, like, discovered my manifestation power, and it was crazy. Like, I kept saying to myself, I'm like, wow, like the things that I wasn't able to do in years, I've done in a couple months, just from like changing my mindset. And like that I've heard that so many times, and I know everyone's heard that so many times. They almost hear it every day. Like, oh, your mindset equals your life. Well, I mean, you hear it so many times, you take it for granted, but it's so true. And I realized that about a lot of cliches that we hear all the time. And not only that, but just so many things just started resonated with me at the same time. And it was all because of one experience that broke me down to my core. I mean, I was broken down like all the way at a fucking molecular level, and was forced to have to build myself back up from that. I'll get into the story about that in a second, and I hope y'all got time. I don't know how long this video is gonna go, by the way. I really just appreciate you guys hanging out with me. So anyway, shadow work. What is shadow work? Shadow work is basically, how people say that they're fighting demons, or I guess people don't, I don't want to use the word issues, because I don't really see problems as, I don't like that negative comment. I don't like that negative connotation. But it's pretty much just introspection, learning how to really get really good at introspecting, looking at your own self and your own soul, and pretty much handling your own shit. Now, first off, I want to make a disclaimer. This is in no way, well, my videos are in no way intended to be a replacement for therapy. I actually recommend you go see a therapist. I think everybody, regardless of how mentally healthy you are, should see a therapist. I think that should be a regular part of things, just like going to a dentist or something like that. What led me to start this channel? Okay, this is where I'm getting into the story. So, oh God. What if she's watching this? What if she finds this? That'd be funny. But go ahead and make sure. Let me just set my brain to not say any names. Even I don't know who knows who in this world. Like, alignment's such a crazy thing, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. But pretty much like short story long. what led me to this point in my life, or what actually threw this snowball down the hill, was a heartbreak. Um, Around, I guess in October, November, this past year. I get damn, it's almost a year ago now, and yeah, I believed, truly convinced, felt it, like deep down in the core of my soul, that I had fallen in love for the first time. At 32 years old, I honestly have never said that, could never say that I felt the way about this particular woman before. Like I was just like foreign to this feeling, and I've been like engaged before. So, and even that relationship at its best wasn't even half this just interaction, because we never even made it to relationship. So that's later on in the story. But just like my feelings for this girl was just like beyond anything I could ever comprehend. Short story long, it didn't work out. I don't. I could. I'll talk forever if I like just start giving you the details of the story. But basically, I'm gonna just skip to the part where I'm in my car crying at in the fucking Walmart parking lot, and just wondering like, God, how did I fuck that up? Like, how did I fuck that up? Like, that was like falling like right in my hands. Like, all I had to do was just, I didn't have to do anything. It was coming to me like, how did I fuck that up? And then that thought led me to other thoughts about like, you know what? Because at this point in time, like, my life was to give some backstory. My life was what I considered at like a rock bottom low. You know, I was my living situation wasn't ideal. My employment situation wasn't ideal. Just I felt like the only thing I had to my name was my car and my son, and only half of that. His name's hyphenated, but yeah. So I was just like, what led me to this point? Like what led me to this point in my life? And for a while, you know, like after a breakup, of course, you just take it out on yourself. You just take it out on yourself. And this is something that I really haven't done. Well, no, I'll take that back. Yeah, just that was just something I was just so used to doing up until then. Like I blame myself for what happened, and I was just so used to blaming myself, like, and God and guising it as taking responsibility, which is a sick like thing that we've just learned as a society. But anyway, oh my God, I haven't looked at the camera the entire time. Fuck. But anyway, I was just in this mode of just despair. And but you know, one day, well, at in this same night actually, when I was crying in the car in the Walmart parking lot, I like just stopped myself. I was like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And by this I mean take things out on myself and like blame myself for my situations and things like that, and try to like mentally or like emotionally coerce myself into doing things that I quote unquote feel like I should be doing or should have done or anything like that, or things like that. But anyway, hopefully that wasn't too much. But yeah, I just like, no, I'm not gonna do this to myself anymore. And it was at that moment that my life changed, because at that moment I forgave myself. I'm gonna be saying that a lot on this channel. Like, the first step to improving your situation, if it's less than ideal to you, is forgiving yourself. Because at some level, you're holding something against yourself, or you're turning against yourself, or you're standing in your own way. The only thing that's ever stopping us from getting what we want is us. And I want that to come across in the most inspiring way, because honestly, that should be an empowering thing, because, like, of course, why would you stand in your own way? It seems illogical, right? Yet we've been trained to, like, just automatically do it. And shit, I've fallen for it up into this point. But getting into the shadow work thing, I had to dig deep within myself to find uh, um the limiting beliefs. I knew that I learned that term from Aaron Doty. I forget how you pronounce his name, but I started watching his videos about 3 years ago. I discovered them like not too long after I turned 30. I'll say to anybody, when I turned 30, like, something clicked. I'll dare I say that's when my third eye opened, right? And I know I was at work and I was able to watch YouTube a lot at work, so I came across his videos, and that's one thing. That's a term that I just kind of like picked up from him, was like limiting beliefs. So I like dug for those in me. I was like, dude, like, it has to be that. Like, what else could it be? You know, because, like, after I forgave him, and okay, so we're gonna back up. Forgave myself, and then after I forgave myself, and I'll tell you how I did it too. I I have a well, he was 2 at the time, but I have a now 3-year old son. Right, he's just a toddler, and I say to myself, like, when he, like, falls down or, like, spills something, or, like, just does something, like, I don't, like, jump on him and be like, God, you're stupid. Like, how could you do that? Like, how did you fuck that up? Like, blah blah blah. Like, it's a baby. Like, he's learning. You know what I mean? He doesn't mean any harm by what he's doing. He's trying to figure out what he's doing, and that made me relate that to myself. And it's like, like, I had to, like, just, like, remind myself, like, I'm a good person. Like, I have my flaws, but my heart is in the right place the majority of the time. I try for it to be, at least, which is a lot more than so many people can say. But I had to just remind myself, like, look, I'm a good person. Like, the only reason why I ever do anything or what I do is to try to improve my own happiness or someone else's around me. You know? And it's like, it's the end of the day, like, I'm just pursuing happiness. Like, I didn't realize I was doing it in a haphazard way up until that point. But once I finally forgave myself, I was able to take, like, an honest, like, objective look without judging myself. When you forgiving yourself is no longer judging yourself. Like, no longer, like, looking at yourself with compassion. Oh yeah, what I meant to say earlier. I told myself at that moment, whatever I wouldn't say to him, I'm not gonna say to myself. That's the moment I decided to start actually parenting my own inner child, because shoot, my inner child has already manifested itself into a physical child. Like, he is me, like, he is, like, we're each other. And then that's when I realized, that's when I would realize later, after I started listening to Abraham Hicks, who I call my auntie. If anyone's been following me on Instagram for a minute, I call her Auntie Abraham. But I started watching her videos, and then that's when I accepted the, what I want to say, ideal philosophy, but basically law of attraction, vibration. This video will be too long if I start jumping into what that is now. Well, I'll give you a brief thing now. Most of you who's watching it already know what that is, but basically, law of attraction is, you get what you are. You don't get what you want. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you're a vibrational match to. And in order to understand that, you would have to accept that we are vibrational beings. That's how we communicate with the universe, as far as, like, what we want and, like, the things that it wants to yield to us is through our vibration. And as you can see on my little makeshift Hawking scale right here, If you want to know what your vibration is, then just take a look at this scale. Does any one of these emotions like just jump out at you? I don't know how well you guys can see that right now, but then if any one of those feel, whichever one of those emotions or whichever one of those emotions that you feel the majority of the time, that's your vibration. Essentially, that's a really blanket way to put it, but you'll get the idea. So fast forward, I discover all of these things, and then all of a sudden, I'm just manifesting things like out of nowhere. I wouldn't even say, well, let me not say it's out of nowhere. It was waiting for me to match its vibration. You know, it came to a point, my life came to a point after that where I had to make a decision. Like, look, what type of life am I gonna lead here? What type of man am I gonna be? And I decided, and every day I have to continue to decide what kind of man I'm gonna be. Like, that's another thing, like shadow work never stops. Hopefully you will be shadow working until the day you die. Shadow working out. That's the point of this shadow, to get your frame, which is basically the cocoon to your soul. Oh my gosh, this is gonna get juicy. Yeah, that's why all of this is important. You know, I feel like we skip this stuff. We've kind of been taught to like skip this stuff. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Things like religion, things like hustle culture, like it's either like one extreme or another. It's either like with religion, you put all your power into something outside of yourself, pretty much just an idea, and you give that control over your life, or make an illusion, or it does, or you take hustle culture where you just exclude just anything other than just work, max effort. But the thing is, when you're moving in alignment, which is, I'd say, is like right in the middle of those two things, and realizing that whatever you're aligned with is what you get, and you start looking at the things around you now and start realizing that your reality is a reflection of what you are internally. It's not the other way around. You're like, oftentimes, like we say, like, oh, we're a product of our environment. No, our environment is a product of us. I mean, after a certain point, I know, like kids don't really have a point of matter, but like in your adult life, that's how it is. Right now, if you're watching this video, that's how it is. Okay, so that's what I want to get into, and I want to show people in this channel. So, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up here. So, your inner workout, I'm gonna end every video with an actual practical thing that you can start doing. That's what's gonna be like your inner workout, or homework assignment, if you will. So, the very first one is actually the very first step to shadow work. This is the tortilla. This is the sliced bread. This is what holds it all together. This is the absolute first step. Meditation. If you want to improve your being in any way, you have to start meditating. Not even improving. If you just want to be happier, calmer, just more focused, if you want to love yourself, if you want to love your life, if you want to wake up feeling gratitude instead of disdain, then you need to start meditating. So, if you can read this from here, you see this says, this is the first little t-shirt idea I came up with. I'm supposed to be selling t-shirts to support the channel. I don't know if I'm gonna do classes and shit like that. I see a lot of people in this space, like they like do courses and classes, and like they got the little click funnel things. I was like, do I want to be a click funnel dude? I don't know if it's gonna come to that. But what I do, another one of my side passions is fashion. And I dress so plain, but I love fashion. I love anything art, anything creative. That's why I'm creating these videos. So anyway, if you can read this, it says read the back of the shirt. I'm not gonna get up and turn around, but I have another one right here. So This is your homework, is to stop praying and start meditating. Or just start meditating. So, why stop praying, you ask? Again, like I said earlier, when you pray, prayer is inferring that control of your life is outside of yourself. That there's like some other power that's above you or influencing things from beneath you, or like there's some other being that has influence over your life, right? Meditation leads you to your own inner being. It leads you to discover your own inner being. It leads you to believe that you yourself are the God of your own life. You're the one who has control. Okay, whether you acknowledge that control or not, because you could be haphazardly manifesting, as I said earlier. And that's another thing. When it comes to manifestation, realize that manifestation isn't just like making your dreams come true like that. You're always manifesting. Like you're currently manifesting. It's a continuous thing. What you're surrounded by right now is what you're currently manifesting, or what or what the current you up until this point has manifested. And that's important to realize, because you can always put a pin in that and change that, and then in time your surroundings will adjust to your new vibration. Your manifestations will adjust to your new vibration. But anyway, getting off on a tangent. But anyway, meditation. 5 minutes. Start with 5 minutes. If you never meditated before, start with 5 minutes. If you have meditated before, pick up wherever you left off. But all you new meditators, 5 minutes a day. I recommend as soon as you wake up in the morning or as close to it. That's the best time to meditate, because that's when your mind is at its most peaceful, when waking up from sleep. So yeah, 5 minutes a day. Dude, I've said this before so many times. Like, I mean, off this channel, I guess it's the first episode, you wouldn't have heard me say it. But if you don't have 5 minutes in the 16 to 20 hours that you're gonna be awake during the day, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, you have to. That's another thing about meditation. It's personal time for you to sit and spend time with you and in the moment. That's the key. That is a key, one of several keys, many keys, mad keys. Learning to be with yourself. Just spend that quality time with yourself. Just think of meditation as like you just stopping to give your inner child just to hug it, or hug him or her or they, and just give it that attention, that nurturing. You have to be able to give that type of love to yourself. You have to take that time out of yourself to like spend that quality time with yourself. If you can't carve out 5 minutes in a day to do that, then I'm sorry, you're dead in the water. Like, you're not gonna move until you start doing that. So for the next 5 days, just try it. You know what? Let's make it an entire calendar week. 7 days. For the next 7 days after you see this video right here, for whenever it is, 5 minutes a day in the morning. Or again, like I said, if you have meditated before, pick up wherever you left off, whatever routine was working for you, right? So how to meditate will be a separate video. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to my first video. This is amazing. I can't believe I'm fucking doing this shit. I'm a gosh darn YouTuber now, and being a part of the fucking like light worker thing and all that shit. I'm a fucking black male healer. There's not enough black men in this shit. I'm doing this for my bros, you know what I'm saying? For the ladies, anyone who wants to watch this. But the point of this is for me to pretty much put this spiritual, metaphysical, vibrational, law of attraction, all this shit into like terms for my bros, terms for my folks, for my peoples, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, thank you. All right, let's go grab a towel and some Gatorade. Woo!